Good morning. Welcome back. We are still in Unit 7. We are going to finish that this week, do a little review, some extra things, and then start Chapter 8 next week. So if you have not done a composition, please email me a composition to cmwicher@bellsouth.net. This is a KCPC class, Ventures 4. Today is April 28th. We're in Unit 7. This is Part 1. So the first thing I would like you to do is to please get your workbook. And we're working on object, pattern, adjective clauses. Remember, a clause has a subject and a verb. It is an incomplete idea if it is a dependent clause. If it is an independent clause, you can use it alone. So here we're using a dependent clause that describes something, so it is called an adjective clause. We have finished up to page 83 on part 3. So we are now doing part 4, page 83. Everyone, I'll give you a minute. Okay, so it says, combine the sentences, change the second sentence into an adjective clause with that. So that is the connector, and it is going to signify that it is an adjective clause. An adjective clause describes. Let's read. Number 1, Alan is a student. I met him in my English class. So the second sentence is going to be the adjective clause, and you have to put it next to what it is that you're describing. So the corrected version is, Alan is a student that I met in English class. Notice you do not use him because student means him. So that's the word that you are eliminating. And actually, I tried it both ways. I tried to present it by not eliminating the noun or the pronoun, the proper noun or the pronoun first, but then I tried it without, and I couldn't decide which one I liked best or which one would be most valuable. So let's go to sentence number 2. And I'm going to give you time to write it down in the book or figure out a way to do it, either using a little line that connects it to where it's supposed to be, and then putting in the word that. However you want to do it is fine with me, just as long as you're learning. Okay, number 2. The old computer suddenly stopped working. He always used it for his homework. So what are they talking about when they say it? They're talking about the computer. So we're going to eliminate it and put the adjective clause which describes the computer next to the computer. It's going to, so would you do that, please? Okay, let's read the corrected version. Number 2, the old computer that he always used for his homework suddenly stopped working. So the adjective clause is that he always used for his homework. Goes next to what it is describing, which is the computer. Okay, number 3. The report is due in 3 days. Alan is writing a report. So what is it that we're talking about? The report. So the report is what you do not need to include. Please write. All right, this is the corrected version. The report that Alan is writing is due in 3 days. Number 4. The repair shop couldn't fix his computer. He went to a repair shop. So what is it that we're talking about? The repair shop. So you can cross that out. And the adjective clause that describes the repair shop is going to go next to repair shop in the original sentence. Okay, let's read. The repair shop that he went to couldn't fix his computer. Okay. Number 5. He asked for advice from a neighbor. He knows his neighbor very well. So what are they going to describe? The neighbor. So you can eliminate the word the neighbor, use the connector that, and put the adjective clause where it belongs. Okay, let's read together. He asked for advice from a neighbor that he knows very well, because the second sentence describes the neighbor that he knows very well. Okay. Number 6. His neighbor has some old computers. He repaired the computers. So who repaired the computers? That's right, the neighbor. So he refers to the neighbor. This clause describes the neighbor. It has to go close to the neighbor, which is the word that it's describing. Actually, I was wrong. It is not describing the neighbor. It is describing the computers. I'm not doing this video over. So I was wrong. It's describing computers, and I actually have it crossed out in my book, and I told you something that was not correct. Okay, what is it? His neighbor has some old computers that he repaired. So they're talking about the computers. Uh, Number 7. Alan bought a computer for only $100. His neighbor didn't need the computer. So what are they describing? Whose computer it was. It's going to go after the word computer. Okay, what is it? Alan bought a computer that his neighbor didn't need for only $100. Okay, so that is using adjective clauses to describe something rather than just one word. And it comes after the word it's describing, and the connector is the word that. That is that for the workbook. So now I would like us to do work in our student. So if you could please get out your student book. You've done that. This is uh, this is some of the vocabulary that's going to be used on page 90 of our book. So let's go over the pronunciation and the meaning for these words. This one is no return. Notice that there's a dash between this particular uh, set of little words. No return. And it's usually going to be no return policy. So what is policy? That's right. These are the rules that they have regarding whatever it is that they're doing in their store or their online store uh, uh, or their brick and mortar store. And policy can refer to anything, not just a store, but to a business, a school, an office, a university. It doesn't really matter. It's the rules for something. The next word, online. And notice that there is no dash between this, that online is one word. What is it? Online. The next one, merchandise. Merchandise or merchandise. Some, both pronunciations are quite common. It can be merchandise or merchandise, but am trying to think about it and I'm thinking that merchandise is probably more common. So another word for merchandise is goods or all the stuff that they have for sale. The next one, satisfaction guaranteed. What is it? Satisfaction guaranteed. Guarantee is also a promise. It's kind of like policy, rules, promises that they make that they have to keep. So repeat again, what is it? Satisfaction guaranteed. The next one, time limit. No dash, but two separate words. What is it? Time limit. Again, time limit. Next, shipping costs. Shipping costs. And usually words that go together are said together very quickly, kind of like no return, online, satisfaction guaranteed. Usually there's no real pause in between them. Time limit, shipping costs. Next one, original package. So what is this? Package. Not packagee, but package. Original package. Next one, original receipt. It's kind of like debt, where B is silent and you just say debt. So here it's receipt. The P is silent and you go straight to the T. So it's receipt, receipt. The whole uh, line, original receipt. The next, store credit. What is it? Store credit. And the last one, cash refund. What is it? Cash refund. Okay, so that is the vocabulary for the story that we're going to read in the student book, page 90. Here we go. Lesson D, reading. Before you read, talk with your classmates, answer the question. Have you ever tried to exchange an item or get a refund? Pretend you're talking to me. Okay, what was it that you were trying to return? Remember, this is in the past. I was trying to return a. Okay, did you have any trouble returning it? If the answer was yes, why did you have trouble? If the answer was no, why didn't you have trouble? Pretend you're talking to me, making sure that you're speaking out loud. Okay, next, number 2. In your native country, is it easy or difficult for people to get a refund for something that they purchased? You're going to begin your sentence by saying, in my country, or in my native country, or in Korea. It is difficult or not difficult to get a refund for something that you purchase. Okay, good. So let's look at the little note that they have here in the little in the little red box. Everyone, sometimes an important word is replaced with a synonym. What is the word synonym? This makes the reading more interesting. For example, seller and retailer are two nouns that have the same meaning. So from that, you can figure out that what does the word synonym mean? That's right. It means words that have the same or a very similar meaning. For example, up here, we had the word merchandise. And what is a synonym for merchandise? Goods. Or actually, another word is stock. Stock is all of the stuff that's on the on the shelves in the store or displayed somewhere in the store. All the merchandise that's on the shelves in the store. All the goods that are on the shelves in the store. All the stock that is on the shelves in the store. Okay. So synonym means something that's very similar. So why are there so many synonyms? Any ideas? Okay. What word comes to mind? How about interesting? So you want to make it would be boring to keep repeating the same word over and over again. So instead of doing that to make your articles more interesting or your speech more interesting, you're going to use synonyms, and which are, of course, what did we say? That's right, words that have a very similar meaning. So it's almost time to finish this video. We're going to pick up the next video section on page 90 in our Ventures book. See you next time.